Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to our Latvian homestead. Today I'm outside and I'm talking about Midsummer festival called Ligo and Jāņi in Latvian. 2 days, normally celebrated on the 23rd and 24th of June. Of course, the true Midsummer is actually on the 20th and 21st of June, changes each year. A little bit about the history first, and then I'll talk about the food, which is really what I want to talk about in this video. So Jāņi is 24th of June. It's the Jānis name day. It originated as St. John the Baptist Day. Obviously in Latvia, if you don't know, everyone has a name. Every day of the year has names associated with it, and that's your name day. It's celebrated very similar to a birthday. And there's one day a year when, for people like me who have international names, we have that day. It's May the 22nd or 21st, something like that. But anyway, because of John the Baptist Day, on the 24th of June, and the Latvian version of John is Jānis, that is John's Day, or Jāņi. Jāņi is a shortened version. One of the delights of the Latvian grammar system is that you can make names nice by changing the ending rather than giving a nickname. Anyway, so that's 24th of June, and obviously that represents being, because it's John the Baptist Day, is 6 months before the birth of Christ. So that's why it was on that day, and I think that goes back to like the 4th century, something like that. And then the day before is Ligo, and that goes back, I believe, to somewhere around sort of 1750s, and there was a chap who started a flower market, and that's when all the sort of flowers are most ready, and he sold the flowers, and it became known as Ligo. And Ligo originates from an old Latvian word which means let be, and sort of everything comes together. Yes, so what happens on Ligo and Jāņi? So it's a national holiday here. Everyone has a couple of days off, and they will come together and celebrate, much like in the UK. Perhaps we celebrate New Year's Eve. Or Christmas. Anyway, there's a gathering in the middle of summer, and people come together and they eat and they drink and they play games, and they probably do some traditions which originate as a sort of pagan tradition, and they'll light a fire. So they'll light this big fire and gather around it, and they'll cook food, sausages on it, and other meats, and maybe they'll throw some stuff into the fire, like some grains or some amber or things like that, and they will jump over the fire, maybe if it's a small fire. It's also the one night a year where A&E hospitals deal with the most accidents from people being burnt from jumping over bonfires, strangely enough, and people drink beer, if I didn't mention that as well. And couples will go in search of the fern flower or fern blossom, which of course in nature doesn't exist, so it's a bit of a joke. And during that time, they will, while they are searching for the fern flower, they might get up to some other things as well. Needless to say, there's a lot of babies born in March in Latvia. So yeah, that's kind of some of the traditions. I'm sure I've missed some. I'll link below to a fantastic video by a Latvian Anita who's done a video explaining it in far more detail than I have, because I want to move on to the food and talk about the foods of Ligo. So first, food. It's kind of 3 main components to food. It's very simple for the Ligo Jāņi festival, and the first one is cheese. Now the cheese, and there's a special Jāņi cheese, and this is it, or one of them anyway. There's loads, but what's special about it is that it's got these caraway seeds in. Now, if you know anything about me or seen other videos, you know that A, I don't eat cheese, and B, I really don't like these caraway seeds. So this is not for me, but however, vitally important for Jāņi, so I'm going to talk about it. And this would be made beforehand, and it's quite a soft cheese. It's made from cottage cheese mixed with more milk, and it's a very simple recipe: salt and maybe some lemon juice to turn it into curds. And they all have representations as well. Those ingredients represent different things. I think this is about the sun and the power and strength and things like that. So yeah, this is the Jāņi sears. Sears is the word for cheese. And if you go into supermarkets, you can see lots of different versions of this, and buy one that takes your fancy. But yeah, that's cheese. So what's next? Next is meat. You need some kind of meat. I've already done a video on shashliks. I'll link to that up there. Today I've got sausages, dessas as they're called in Latvian, 2 different types. Often people will cook these over a fire. Now, when we talk about sausages in the UK, we think of wet sausages. So they haven't been cooked, and you will grill them or fry them or whatever. And that's predominantly what sausage is. In Latvia, dessa can mean lots of different things, and I will talk about the different sausages in a different video. I guess these are most like saveloys. This is kind of the nearest comparison in the UK. There's 2 different types, long ones and short ones, but there's all different types. Sardeles as well, which are really fat, juicy ones, and they'll put them on a stick and then they'll cook them over the bonfire that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so shashliks, also piragi, which are stroke pirazini, which are the little kind of buns which I mentioned in the 10 foods video, and they're chopped bacon and onion, and they're put into some dough and then baked. So anyway, meat of some description is very important to the Ligo Jāņi festival. And then of course finally we've got beer. Beer, very important to the Jāņi festival. Now, it's not about alcohol. It's not about, wines and spirits. In the UK, we might just say, well, drink, we need to have drink for the festival. No, it's about beer. And often people will brew their own summer beer. And they will get the grain, and I've seen people, they'll soak it in a pond, and then they'll malt it, and they'll make their own beer and do the whole process ahead of time. So I've got a couple of beers here as examples, but there's hundreds of Latvian beers. Again, I'll do a separate video about beer and cover it in more detail. But beer's very important to the Ligo Jāņi festival. So there we are. There's our food and drinks of the Jāņi festival. A quick overview. It is really that simple, really, because it's more about coming together, socializing, having fun. Of course, singing songs, which I forgot to mention earlier. Singing songs is very important, and perhaps doing some dances as well. Latvians love to sing and dance, and so yeah, there's lots of that going on. And so the food is kept simple, so you don't spend a lot of time preparing food and stuff like that. If you're the host of a Ligo party, then you're called the mother or the father of the party, and then the people that come, the attendees, your guests, are the children, the Ligo children, which I think is quite nice. Anyway, that's Ligo and Jāņi. That's my short video talking about the food, and I will go into more detail, like I say, about the sausages and the meat in other videos. Links below to my shashliks video. You need to make shashliks. If you've never made shashliks, really you need to get onto that. Forget all the stuff you buy in the UK, which is marinated and stuff like that, and burning sausages and burgers to a black piece of charcoal. Get into shashliks. If you've got any questions, comments, do leave them below. If there's anything you want me to cover in a future video, leave it below in a comment. Thumbs up would be really appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, do consider subscribing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.